New leadership to help connect farmers with land. The Sustainable Iowa Land Trust, known as SILT, has hired Breanna Horsey of Storm Lake as its next executive director. I sat down with Horsey to learn more about what she hopes to achieve in her new role, with the goal to preserve Iowa land to grow healthy food, reaching small towns that haven't been reached before.
So as the leader of a nonprofit organization, I'll be wearing many hats, and so that includes fundraising and outreach to our constituents and supporters. I'll be leading our team of staff and really just trying to create energy within our organization so that will expand out and draw people to SILT. We really want to let people know what we do and become a resource for someone that otherwise wouldn't have opportunity to be on the land, or be a resource for landowners that need a solution to carry their legacy on for many generations. I have a drive, and I was determined to find a role that I could find personal fulfillment in, and I've found that with SILT. I think that along with my awareness of what was happening in Iowa and with agriculture and with the land, I started to become aware of what was happening around me in Iowa and wanted to be a part of the solution. And so that's what drew me to SILT, and I feel like the stars have aligned with this role to enhance my background and experience and be a resource for those here in Iowa. We have the richest soil across many parts of the world right here in Iowa, but we are importing almost 90% of our food, and so just having access to land to grow food for healthy Iowans, I think, is the most important aspect. Right now, our goal is to circle the cities. We have a goal of surrounding 10 cities with 10 sustainable food farms in Iowa. And so over the next 10 years, we're going to hit that hard in the next few years to really get some farms established locally around our major cities in Iowa so that we can provide food to, like people here in Des Moines. I think just being a servant leader is most important, and coming from a nonprofit background, combined with my education in environmental science, is what I'm bringing to the table. Just really connecting with the community and helping people understand, helping connect what they're passionate about with what our mission is what my goal is. There's a lot that keeps you up at night when you start any new role, but just knowing that SILT has the opportunity to do so many great things across Iowa, and trying to find a way to become a resource to make SILT a household name in Iowa, and finding creative ways to do that. Iowa, there's a lot of areas that we haven't reached yet, and so how can we be present in the small towns and in places in Iowa that we haven't reached before? We are in a land crisis in Iowa. A lot of land is being developed, or the family farm is being passed down to the next biggest corporation, and land access is limited. And that's especially true for farmers that don't come from a farming background or a traditional farming family. And so Iowa has a lot of diversity. We have immigrant farmers. We have new and young farmers that want to become involved, and so we want to find ways to get them onto the land. Any land that SILT acquires or that we hold an easement on, our goal is to lower the value of that land to make it more accessible. And so on average, we're lowering the value of that land about 40%, and that's imperative for the future of Iowa and land access. With our mission to get farmers onto the land, we know that we need to grow more local food in Iowa. We need, one of our main goals is to help our farmers connect to the market for that. And so you are the market, we are the market. If we're buying local food, then we're helping a local farmer. And with our Circle Our Cities campaign, that's exactly what we're trying to do. We want to have local food available for consumption so that we can grow that market as well. Shopping locally, get to know your local farmer, be a resource for them. Go to your farmers markets. We have so much to offer in Iowa. I think that in places like Des Moines and across Iowa, our citizens are very forward thinking. We want this. We want to have food available locally so that we have healthy food for our families and for future generations. We're thinking, SILT is thinking 100 years from now, what is Iowa going to look like? Are we going to have land available to grow food? And so, we're in this for the long run. This is a long-term plan for us, and it isn't going to happen overnight, but every day counts, and every time that you buy from a local farmer, you're making a difference.